Hello, everyone, and welcome to Project Empower's monthly speaker event. We're super excited to have you here today as we dive into the insights of leaders in technology, shaping the future with innovation, purpose, and impact. Our panelist for this month is Yamini Rangan, the CEO of Hubspot, an AI-powered customer platform that makes software to help businesses attract customers, manage relationships, and grow. Ms. Rangan brings over 25 years of experience in the tech industry, having led teams at Dropbox, Workday, and SAP. She's also been recognized as one of the most influential women in business and continues to inspire as a speaker and educator. Thank you everyone for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy the event.
Welcome everyone. This is Yamini Rangan, the current CEO of Hubspot. So just to get us started, can you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about HubSpot and the company as a whole? Like, what's HubSpot's mission?
Hey, Nitin, so good to talk to you. Thank you so much for having me on this. And it's great to be here talking to all of you. So yes, HubSpot's mission is to help small and medium businesses grow. We are a very mission-oriented company. And one of the ways we help small and medium businesses grow is by providing marketing, ability to bring leads into a website, to help them with sales, close those into deals, and then provide great customer support. When we provide the right marketing, sales, and customer service and support, companies grow, and that is exactly our mission.
That's excellent. I love to hear that a big company is supporting the little guys out there.
That's right. We need a lot of us supporting the small, medium businesses, and that's how the economies grow. So we are very excited about our mission.
So just to get into a little bit more about you personally, what is your role at HubSpot and how do you impact the company?
That's a great question. I am the Chief Executive Officer. I joined HubSpot in January 2020. And when I joined the company, I joined it as the Chief Customer Officer, which is my dream job. And that really means I was leading marketing, sales, and service within the company at the time. Then a year after I joined, in March 2021, I took on the role of a CEO after our co-founder, who had been with the company for 15 years, and he was the CEO of the company. He decided, for a variety of reasons, including health reasons, to step back, and then I became the CEO. As a CEO, you are responsible for the strategy and the execution of the company. We are a public company. That means our stock is listed, which means we are responsible for sharing our plans and then executing based on those plans. And my job as the Chief Executive Officer is to set the company strategy, make sure we execute it, communicate with customers, communicate with partners, communicate with investors, and all of our stakeholders within the company. It's an exciting job. It's a tough job, and I'm definitely enjoying it.
Yeah, so like you mentioned, as the CEO, you have to manage everything and there's a lot of responsibilities. How do you manage those responsibilities, whether it be stress related or just logistical in general?
Yeah, well, I think this is a team role. The first thing about managing a really tough job in the tech industry or any industry is to have a great team around you. And I am super lucky that we have a fantastic leadership team. And if you think about a tech company's leadership team, there are a lot of critical roles, Nitin. First of all, we need great product. So we have a head of product and head of engineering, and they're responsible for building products and bringing it to market. Then we have a very good go-to-market team of leaders. So we have a chief marketing officer who's responsible for attracting a lot of customers. We have a chief sales officer who is responsible for engaging and closing customers so we can win our customers and grow. And then we have a chief customer success officer who is responsible for helping our customers achieve success. In addition, we have a fantastic CFO, chief financial officer. They're responsible for the books and closing the books, setting the strategic financial plan for the company, and then a chief people and a chief legal officer. So the first rule is your job as a CEO is to build a world-class leadership team. And that's the focus. And once you have the team, then you got to empower the team members, make sure that you're providing the resources so that they can be successful in their job. So it certainly is a team role.
That's awesome. It's really reassuring to know that as the CEO, you don't stand alone. That's really nice to know.
Totally not. Totally not.
So, if you feel comfortable,
Yeah.
can I ask about your like background, like your childhood and your upbringing? How did you get to where you are today?
Yeah, of course you may ask that, and that's a great question. So, Nitin, I grew up in a fairly small town in southern India. The state that I grew up in is in Tamil Nadu, and the town that I grew up in is not on the map. So it was a pretty small town, and interestingly, Nitin, the town did not have a high school. You guys are all in high school, and you're all doing a great job within high school and asking all these great conversations and questions, but the town that I was in did not have a high school. So one of the things that my parents did was my mother decided to move to a bigger city so that myself, my elder sister, I have a sister who is 2 years older than I am, could get an education, finish our 12th grade, and then go to college. She was really big on us as women growing up, way back in India, to get a great education, to be economically independent, to be professionals. And that was her vision for us. And, she moved different cities in order for me to finish my 12th grade in a different city. And so, look, it influenced me quite a bit. When someone bets on you and someone really takes the difficult decision to go to a different city, set up a different house, and then is really focused on giving you a good life, then you begin to take yourself really seriously. So back in, when I was in 12th grade, I said to myself, look, I got to do something with this. I can't let all of the sacrifices that my parents had made to give us a great education go to waste. And so I went to engineering school. This was back in India. At that time, you could either become a doctor or you can become an engineer. Those were the great professions back in those days. And my sister became a doctor. So I decided I would not follow her. I decided that I would not become a doctor. And so I went into an engineering program. And it was very different times. There were not that many women engineers. In fact, in a class of about 300 people, we had maybe 12 women. And then it became a question of, could I be a great, engineer and, be successful in a technical career? And I took that on as a challenge. One of the things very early in my life was if anyone challenged me, I would rise to the occasion and take that upon myself and get there. And so that was my early life story.
Well, that's an absolutely outstanding backstory. You raise an interesting point, how high schoolers, like, I feel like some of us are so privileged, and some of us need to take a moment to thank the sacrifices that our parents make.
Absolutely, absolutely. I would say that we all, stand on the shoulders of people that make sacrifices and do all the right things for us. And I think, I was super lucky to have parents who bet on me, who really made sacrifices so that myself and my sister could have great lives.
That's excellent. So now that we know like a little bit more about you and how you got to where you are today, can I ask, can you share a challenge that you faced in your career? And how exactly did you overcome that challenge? Because we know that life is full of challenges, but it's those who face challenges, as you mentioned in your backstory, that like really rise to success.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Look, I think you're exactly right. Life is full of challenges. And, it's interesting when you talk to people, you see the success part of the story, but the unsaid story is the jobs that you don't get, the programs that rejected you, the promotions that you don't get. You don't see it on LinkedIn, you don't see it in stories. And so there's like plenty of those stories. I'll tell you, Nitin, a challenge very early in my career. So once I got to the US, I was an engineer for a little while, and then I went to business school, and then I took on a career in sales. So I started working in the tech industry, and I started as a salesperson. And as a salesperson, I had a great career because I was very focused, I was very hardworking, and I always got to my quota early in my career. And one of my early challenges was actually going from being an individual contributor, which is, you do the job, to being a manager where you manage people doing jobs. And when I went to the managerial role, I was still kind of having my playbook. I would work hard. I would expect my team to work really hard. I gave them a playbook for them to be successful. And one of the things, again, that I would say about any industry, and certainly being in managerial and leadership roles, it's all about the team. So I learned the hard way, and I got a ton of feedback very early in my career that it is all about the team, and I needed to slow down. And that was a hard thing because, again, as you heard from my, life, it was in India working hard, coming to the US working hard. And then it was like, no, you need to go slow. You need to go slow in order to make sure that your team follows you, in order to make sure that you're giving the right environment for the team to be successful in. And so I learned that I had to rewire my playbook. I had to slow down. I had to ask questions. I had to inspire the team in order to make sure that the team was successful. And that was a early lesson in my career, but a hard-earned lesson. And I still have a sticky in my computer today which says slow down. And I still remind myself to slow down and ask questions in order to make sure the teams are really set up for success.
Well, that's really great. So you talk a lot about like your teams and how teams are a really big part of the high level and to let a company function as it should. So like within your team, how do you promote like positivity and like a positive work environment in your company? Because we know that like happy workers are productive workers. So how do you guys?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, this is a great question, which is you're asking me, how do you get the best out of your people? And one way to do it is to create a positive environment and an inclusive environment, an environment where people can thrive and be successful, right? And it really gets to what the culture is of the company. And within HubSpot, we have a saying that we actually have two products. The first product is the product that we build, which is to help small and medium businesses grow, and that attracts customers. There's another product that we care equally about, which is the culture within the company. That product is to attract employees. And the better the culture is within the company, the more you provide for the employees in order for them to do their best work. And so we've spent a lot of time thinking about what that culture is and what the values are. And then once you decide that you want to have an inclusive environment, an environment where people, in our case, are humble, are adaptable, or have empathy, and they are very transparent, those are the values that we care about the most. Then it is, how do you embody it yourself? Nothing comes, as it's not about what you say, it's how you show up every single day. So you got to embody the values, and then you got to promote people based on those values. You got to give people the positive encouragement when they exhibit those values. So it's really one, setting the culture, two, having clear values as part of the culture, and three, living those values yourself. That will lead to a great work environment.
Mm, that's really, really insightful. So if we go into more depth about like the logistics and sort of like how to build up the success, because
Yep.
obviously high schoolers that are listening to this, they're going to be wanting, how can I get to a point in position where I can look at my career and say, I feel successful? So what skills or habits or values, I should say, do you feel like are essential if you want to strive and succeed in the tech industry?
Oh, that's a fantastic question, Nathan. And you said, a couple of things. One is, what skills, and the second is what habits. And I think both of those are important. First of all, anybody out there thinking about the tech industry, it is an absolutely vibrant industry. Now, I've had the fortune of being in this industry for nearly 28 years. And I will tell you, Nitin, that no 2 years feel the same. Things are constantly changing in the industry. Of course, now you've heard about AI, but even before that, there were like so many big trends that keep changing in the industry. So it's a vibrant industry, but this is an industry where you have to be ready for change. And in fact, I tell everybody in my company and my team that change is the only constant within the tech industry. So if you are excited about change, if you're excited about learning, if you're excited about growing and constantly evolving, then this is a great industry for you to consider. And the skills are that. The skills that, you can have a lot of technical skills, and of course you can have, great marketing skills and so on. But the most underlying skill that you can have in the tech industry is curiosity and a love for learning, because there's so much change. There is just so much happening within the industry that if you are committed to learning and growing, and if there's a new trend that comes in, you're on the podcast, you're listening to what that is, you're taking extra courses and figuring that out. If you do that, then you're going to thrive, and you're going to get more and more opportunities that come at you, and you're going to be at the top of the pack. So I think the skill is really about curiosity and love for learning. Now, the question becomes, how do you make a habit out of it? Like, if you think that curiosity is a big skill or learning is a good skill, how do you create a habit out of it? And one of my absolute favorite books, and I recommend this to my teen sons, and I recommend this to a lot of folks within the company, is called Atomic Habits. It's a fantastic book, and it basically says, in order for you to make something a habit, you just have to do it for 5 minutes a day, and you have to consistently do it over a period of time that it becomes your own habit. So, how to create a habit is really, form an atomic habit. Let's say you want to join the tech industry and listen to a podcast for 10 minutes a day. And, the cumulative learning across the days of listening to a podcast or listening to someone talk about the industry trends over a period of a year, you're going to be much better than anybody else in your same peer group. And so it is about curiosity, love for learning, and creating habits of doing it consistently over a period of time. That is going to really help your career.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Consistency is probably key.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely.
So moving into to what high schoolers like us can do other than building habits and values, like you said, what do you feel like is the importance of building connections and networking early to sort of set you up for success?
Oh, look, that's a great question. And Nitin, here's what I will tell you. Do not network to get a job. There are a lot of early career people want to build their connections, but in the first conversation, they want an internship, or they want a job, or they want to find a way to get to, a company. And I think, connections don't work that way. The best way to network and to learn is just to do the curious things of, learning about an industry, learning about a company, learning about a job. We as adults, we love curious, students. We love people that just ask us questions about, how did you grow up in this industry? Or how did you get to where you are in the industry? Just what you're doing, which we call informational sessions or informational interviews. We love doing that, because then you're not, asking for something. You're merely curious and you're learning. And that is the best way to form connections. I'll tell you, I have a fantastic young, student that I have been mentoring for 4 or 5 years. And she's never once asked me for, an internship or a role, but she'll always come to me with, questions about career choices. Should I take this course or should I take this course? Should I, learn more with this route or some other route? And over the years, I have now recommended her, to different companies, never because she's asked me, but because she has always been willing to learn and to be curious. And so the thing that I would say is connections are important, but meaningful connections where you are interested in learning from people are more important, and those will pay for you in the long term. So that's how I'd approach building a set of network, that you can learn from and grow.
That's a very fresh take on connections. I really like that. So
Great.
sort of winding down this event, so if we can just end with one final like showstopper question, I would say,
Okay.
what is one final piece of advice you would give to either your younger self or students like me who aspire to be successful in the tech industry?
Wow. Okay. Lots of pressure on the one final advice question. But here's what I would say, Nitin. Growth mindset. Your ability to grow in your life is directly proportional to how curious you are and how much feedback you can take. And literally, this has been, a thing that has played out in my entire career. I did not grow up thinking I was going to be a CEO. I did not grow up thinking I was going to be, a chief customer officer. What I really cared about was learning, both from successes and from failures. When I failed in the past, I would pick myself up and say, what did I learn from it? How can I grow from it? And what is the feedback that I can get? And so having a growth mindset really, really helps in any career, but certainly within tech. And I would encourage all of you to use your time in high school, to use your time as a student to learn, to be curious, and to ask questions. And that is going to help you have a wonderful career. And I wish all of you the very best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Nitin. Take care.
All right, thank you.
Once again, let's all give a big thank you to Ms. Rangan for her valuable insights. We hope you enjoyed this event and that you look forward to more events in the future. As always, if you would like to support Project Empower, be sure to visit our website, projectempower.io, and donate. Thank you guys so much, and have a great night.